The incident with the succubus. I wish I had the power to use time magic to reverse that disaster. It all started in the guild hall. I was just another black mage minding my own business as I waited for my party members to finish picking a quest. I remember our leader was a dashing warrior. His best friend was a powerful monk. I had a special someone in the party too. She was a white mage. I can still remember every aspect of them that makes them special. Warrior's spiky hair, monk's bandana, and white mage's smile. Her smile. They finally finished picking the quest and showed it to me, purposely covering up their rank requirement. Eliminate a succubus that was terrorizing a nearby town. I didn't think much of it at first, but that would have proven to be our downfall. If I would have just spoken up, maybe they could have. She could have. The quest started out innocently enough. Warrior and monk chatting away in front of us. White Mage and I had our own conversations in the back. She always wanted to know if I had any aspirations to become the highest level in my field, which was a wizard. I nodded my head. I can remember her warm smile when she heard that. White Mage played with her hair as she embarrassingly told me that she wanted to become a devout, the highest level for a white mage. I held her hand and gave her praise for aiming high. It was a stupid small talk, but it felt like the most important thing in the world to talk about. Fast forward a few hours, Warrior led us to a trench that overlooked a giant underground temple. It was really eerie to look at with its giant spires, multiple towers, and the fact it's literally engraved into the rock face. That's when stuff started really hitting the fan. Warrior proudly lifted his treasured sword and pointed it at the temple, only to be greeted with an explosion of his blood as his arm flew off. White Mage attempted to heal his wounds, but another flash took off Warrior's head from his body. I created a ring of fire to protect us from whatever took out Warrior. I couldn't see what it was, but it was definitely humanoid. I can remember Monk's sobs as he held Warrior's head in his arms, his tears streaming down his face. I tried to comfort him, but Monk pushed past me and went out on a rage to hunt down whatever killed Warrior. White Mage and I could do nothing but follow him. It wasn't hard to follow where Monk has been. All we had to do was follow the trail of mangled bodies. We arrived at the entrance of the temple, the doors forcefully shoved aside and hanging off the hinges. We heard more punching sounds in the distance and broke into a sprint to get to Monk. Meeting only a few goblins and trolls, they weren't much trouble for us. We arrived at the dining table of the temple, decorated like a Victorian-era Gothic style, but everything was made out of stone. That's where we met our target, the succubus. A woman-like monster with horns, pinkish-reddish hair, wings, and wearing a skimpy red attire that's laced with spikes. I remember she laughed as she held Monk up, his bones shattered, guts hanging out, and his eyes gouged out. We stared at him in horror. White Mage breaking down into tears. In retaliation, I shot a fireball at her which missed, allowing her to take White Mage. I grabbed her hand and fiercely held on. White Mage's eyes are filled with terror, so I held on even tighter. It wasn't enough though, as the succubus tore White Mage away from my grip, and she disappeared into the darkness. I couldn't believe that she was taken from my grip, that I lost another party member. First Warrior, then Monk, now White Mage? I have to admit, I was ready to give up and escape from the cave. But when I saw White Mage's staff on the ground, for some reason I felt a surge of bravery rise within me, forcing me to stand up and chase after that succubus. I caught the monster at the top of one of the spires. She held White Mage suspended over the edge with her magic and faced off with me. The strength difference between us was tremendous. She had me outmatched in strength, speed, stamina, and durability. She held the upper hand the entire time. Even with my knowledge in black magic, I was still no match for her. Eventually, she managed to break both of my arms and rupture my stomach. To add insult to injury, she was enjoying it. She almost looked like she came just watching me squirm in pain, tears flowing down my face and blood from my mouth. She wrapped her fingers around my neck and held me in the air. I was helpless to do anything as she slowly squeezed the life out of me. That is, until White Mage saved me. I didn't know it was her at first, but her magic surrounded me and protected me from the choke, giving me the opportunity to breathe. The succubus let me go and focused on White Mage as she charged up a black ball of dark energy. Really forbidden black magic. I quickly placed my hands together and used all of my willpower to create this one tiny icicle. The dark energy ball continued to swell, and before I knew it, it was flying towards White Mage. I quickly fired my icicle and sprinted past the succubus and grabbed White Mage, protecting her from the dark energy ball. Pain resonated through my body before it became a blissful, fleeting feeling. As we spun in the air, I saw my icicle hit the succubus in the heart and exit. I smiled weakly as we descended towards the ground. All I could do was close my eyes and wait for the impact. I woke up in the guild infirmary with multiple white mages casting their healing spells on me. I've never felt so happy to be in a hospital. It was the best feeling ever. They reported that they found me at the foot of the temple, bleeding and barely having a pulse. I sighed with relief only to remember about White Mage. I asked frantically where she was, but the doctors only gave me a smile. I thought that was their way of telling me that she was gone. Until they moved the curtains, and there was her, covered in bandages. I cried with joy and relief as I saw her chest rise and fall in rhythm. The doctors left us alone as I continued to cry and stare at White Mage. I couldn't wait to see her smile when she wakes up.